Hello and welcome back to another painting video. Today we are going to be painting our Shiho Wimpie from our Shiho clan starter box. And yeah, so I think what I want to do with this guy first is I want to give him a dry brush of a gray. I think that's going to help us with some of the colors that I have in mind. So we're going to take our medium sea gray, give it a good shake, and put some down. And we will load up our brush here. Give most of this off. Hold on one second, I have to put that down and then fill my water because it is dry here and that stuff has all evaporated. So now let's take this and give a nice dry brush to, mostly we want to get these cloth areas because of how I'm choosing to paint them. We want a certain color to pop on them, but we just want a gray on it. We don't have to put the white or anything like that. You have to do like a, what's it called? You don't have to do a slap chop on them. So we'll just clean that brush off. And we're gonna start with the skin. Now, I was looking up on the internet how to paint like Japanese skin tones, and there's not a lot of help there. A lot of people start with Kislev flesh from Games Workshop. I do not have that color. But then I looked at like comparisons and like, oh, use Sunny Skin Tone. No. People aren't this color. That's like a highlight color. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with this pale flesh color, and I think I'm gonna mix a little bit of Sunny Skin Tone into it, just to get a lighter variation. We're gonna take some of the red away from the pink of the pale flesh color. So we're just trying to take some of the red out. So let's get our brush here. Let's get it wet, and we'll just mix. We'll try like 2 pale flesh to 1 sunny skin tone. That's kind of what we're gonna go for here. So like a 2-to-1 mix. Right here. Clean our brush. Pick up that paint. And then let's get to these areas where the flesh is. Also, I did find out that these are 3D printed resin, which is a huge bummer. They look good, don't get me wrong, but to spend as much money as I spent on them, I think it's like 80 bucks or something for the starter set for a 3D printed model, it kind of feels bad. So if you're out there, company that makes this, GST Studios, you need to bring your prices down or switch to cast resin or literally anything else, because it's crazy that this is 3D printed resin for $80. People know how much that stuff costs. And if I would have known, I probably wouldn't have purchased it, to be honest. As much as I want to try this game and get into it and stuff like that, I think just it's a little bit of a weird business practice. But anyway, we're here, we're painting. So we're just gonna get 2 thin coats on for this guy. So that's 1 coat. We're gonna keep our brush nice and try to keep it nice and pointy. It's not being super nice. All right, we're probably gonna have to do more than 2 coats at this rate with this coverage. So just yeah, we're gonna wait for that to dry more. So while that's drying, let's get into the shirts. And since these guys are kind of like a hit and run tactic type guys, we're gonna use green for their shirts. So I'm gonna use this uniform green first as like the base coat for my shirts. And the shirt is just this part, and it's like tucked into the pants down there. So just keep it there. Get the sleeve here. My brushes are horrendous, which I didn't really use them that much, so I don't know why they're this destroyed. So definitely have to make a new purchase of some brushes pretty soon. But in the meantime, we'll go here. We're just looking at the model, at what things are. Some of it's kind of hard to decipher right now, but I think as we get color on it, we'll be fine. It's like a wrap on a wrap. It's really weird. I'm looking at the picture of the models all assembled behind me. That's why I keep turning away, and you hear probably some weird noises, but I'm just trying to figure out what things are. I think that's also maybe a disadvantage of the 3D printed resin. Okay. Now the flesh should be dry, so we can do a second coat of flesh. So we're just getting in there, cleaning up all that mess that we made, and it's not going on as great as we'd want it to go on. So we might have to do 3 coats. So let's just keep working that paint in. It's kind of weird too, because this model, like, it looks like the hat's just sitting on his head. Like it's not like it's sculpted on there. So definitely some needs improvement a little bit on some of these things. Oh, you know what I've been missing his feet this whole time. I forgot that he has sandals. So we gotta get those guys. Just turn this around, get the first coat on there. Okay. Now we can go for a second coat of the green. While that's drying, while our second coat of skin is drying. let's get this on there so it's all nice and smooth, covering all those areas that we want to. Okay. Now we can do a base coat onto the hat. We're gonna use this German camo beige for it. It's just an undercoat of the whole thing. It's kind of hard to get into all these little nooks that it has there, so just make sure your paint is nice and thinned, and it should be able to go in there. And we gotta get the underside here. Being careful of the head, which doesn't have hair, which I thought it did, because I think the picture on the website is the old metal model. And then, because I don't know, these look kind of generic, like that they just, I don't know, I don't want to complain too much, I'm sorry. People like this game probably, and don't mind the stuff that I'm complaining about. So there is that. His hat has been coated, base coated a little bit. So now we can go back into the flesh for the third time, hopefully the final time. And we're just gonna pick out all those areas that are, you can see all the black still from the under, from our primer. I think regardless, I think this is where we're gonna move on with the skin, because this part is kind of frustrating. It's not really covering very well, and I don't think it's like that the model has release agent on it or anything like that. It's, or uncured resin. It's just, this seems to not want to stick very well. It's probably the sunny skin tone, because it is a very thin paint. So now we're gonna wash it down a little bit. We're gonna take this military shader from Army Painter. It's just a green shade that we're gonna use for the shirt to help give us some shadows and all that stuff. So just putting that on here, helping it get into all those little crevices. Give us nice little green folds. And just pay attention to where it's going to make sure it's not creating any weirdness. There we go. So now we're going to get Agrax Earthshade. It's a brown wash, and we're going to use that on the skin and on the hat as well. Actually, probably not the hat. Maybe a different idea for the hat. So for the skin, we're just going to put the Agrax over the top of it to darken the skin tone a little bit, to help separate it a little bit more. And then chest there. He has like upper abs. I don't know what's really going on with there. It's like, is that abs or is that his man boobs or what? So we'll do that. Then we'll get the face. Okay, so this is kind of where we're sitting at now for him. I don't mind the eyes going black like that with like a shadow because he does have that hat kind of giving him a shady face. So now for the hat, let's go with a sepia wash, a Seraphim sepia. It's more of a yellow gold wash. And that's gonna kind of help with the straw hat ness of the top of the hat here. Okay. So now let's take some black gray just to clean up a lot of those spots that we got some brush on over the skin tone onto the, like the collar here. Don't want the collar to have that skin tone on it. We gotta clean the green here. Just cleaning up our messes here. Okay. That's good. And then for that part of this uniform, we want to use this, where is it? This iceberg gray color. It's like a blue, a dark blue color that I really like. We're using it for our Age of Sigmar army. This might, is this the right color? Is that the color that I was using? So when you have all these questions like, is that what I was doing? I don't know if that's what I was doing, but it looks right. I mean, it doesn't look right. It looks super bright, but we'll see when we place it onto here. I think this that paint was not dry yet, and then it just took that and destroyed it. But we'll see. We'll have to let it dry. This is one of those paints that you have to let do its thing. We can start with the blue towards the top and just bring it down and let it get darker as it goes toward the bottom of the model. Get in there. Okay. Now we want to clean up some of this stuff. So we have like the handle of the sword that he has right here. We also want the thing there, and then the belt. We want this to be black. All black right there. And then we can clean up the sword as well. So then we're gonna go back to our beige World War II, or what's it called? It's that German camo beige World War II that we used for the top of the hat. And we're just going to pick out these like ropes that he has on him. And then try our best with the sandals here. And we can see that there's some rope on here as well, so we'll get that with this. Trying our best to get those pieces. All right. So now we can go into olive green for the chest. Now that most of the paint has dried, the wash has dried, we can just pick out a couple areas here and there to give him just like a little bit of a pop on those like high areas, like a little highlight. So just finding those big areas, those high areas, and just putting little scratches of the paint there just to add some variation into the armor there. Also, I'm noticing that little tie on the cape that he has, or the cover here. We want to also hit with that. And then for the clothes, we're gonna take this dark blue gray from Vallejo, and we're gonna mix it with some German field gray. Actually, no, I'll probably mix it with some medium sea gray just to get it lighter. So we'll probably do 2 of the dark blue gray to 1 of the medium sea gray. We just want a dark gray mixture. That's what we're going for here, with just like a little bit of blue in it. And then we're gonna kind of tack these high points with it. The unfortunate side of the wash is that it has made this thing so glossy that it's kind of hard to see. I'm just getting some of those areas in there. And then we're going to take just regular old sea gray here. And we're just going to get the top of that. Give it a little sheen. We'll just get like the little bits here. Just adding a little bit more. Okay. Then for the hat, we're going to go back into that sunny skin tone color. It's going to be hard to get some of these lines. Like we just want to pull like thin lines through this, going like in a crosshatchy type of motion. Just to give it more like of a woven look. You can go in with that same sunny skin tone and just kind of pick out a couple areas on the face, like the cheeks and like the tips of the ears. Back of the head here, the nose, and the chin if you could get it, but his chin's pretty in there. Just want to kind of wet blend that out a little bit more. And then we'll take our gunmetal color and just get like the little clippies at the bottom of the swords and the cross guards of the swords. So just get this guy and this guy. Same thing here, just there and there. And we accidentally got his finger painted that color. So let's go over the top of this with our original mixture of paint, just to give it a little highlight. And that is going to be how we paint our Shiho Wimpie. It looks pretty cool. I hope it's coming out in the thing. It is very glossy. We're going to spray it with a matte varnish, so that should bring it down. But yeah, we'll catch you guys on the, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.